What happens when two of the most fearless voices in American politics are put on live TV with nothing to lose? Tonight, the world isn't just watching. A line is about to be crossed, and you're about to see it happen in real time. Jasmine Crockett and Kash Patel are about to face off in a showdown that promises fireworks, secrets, and a moment that could change everything. What will be said? Who will crack under pressure? And what's the one thing neither of them wants you to find out? Stay with us, because this isn't just a debate. This is the moment everyone will be talking about tomorrow. Jasmine Crockett, a name that's become a rallying cry for those who want to shake up the system. Known for her sharp wit, relentless questioning, and a fearlessness that's rattled more than a few in Washington, Crockett has never been afraid to speak her mind, no matter who's listening. Her rise from grassroots activism to the halls of Congress has been anything but ordinary, and every step has made her both a hero and a target. Across the stage stands Kash Patel, once a behind-the-scenes power player, now a headline magnet in his own right. Patel's reputation? Unapologetic, strategic, and always ready to go on the offensive. He's been at the center of some of the most controversial moments in recent political history, earning both fierce loyalty and intense criticism. For his supporters, he's a truth-teller. For his critics, he's a disruptor who plays by his own rules. But tonight isn't just about two personalities. It's about what they represent. Crockett, the voice of a new generation demanding accountability and change. Patel, the defender of a system he believes is under attack from within. Their clash is more than personal. It's a battle of ideas, values, and visions for the future. The stakes? Everything. For Crockett, it's a chance to prove that courage and conviction can still cut through the noise. For Patel, it's an opportunity to show that experience and strategy still matter in a world obsessed with headlines. And for everyone watching, it's a rare, unfiltered look at what happens when two forces collide with nothing held back. As the lights come up and the cameras zoom in, one thing is clear. This isn't just another political debate. This is a moment that could define both careers, and maybe even the direction of the country itself. The stage isn't just set for a debate, it's set for a collision. For weeks, the tension between Jasmine Crockett and Kash Patel has been building, fueled by headlines, viral clips, and a string of public confrontations that have left both camps on edge. At the heart of this showdown are issues that cut deep: government transparency, political accountability, and the future of American leadership. Crockett has called out what she sees as backroom deals and double standards, demanding answers that many in power would rather avoid. Her fiery speeches and pointed questions have made her a lightning rod for controversy, and a beacon for those tired of politics as usual. Patel, on the other hand, has never shied away from a fight. He's accused Crockett of grandstanding, of using outrage as a weapon, and of pushing an agenda that threatens the very foundations of the system he's spent years defending. For Patel, this isn't just about policy. It's about protecting the integrity of the institutions he believes are under siege. The lead-up to tonight's live event has been anything but quiet. Social media has been ablaze with leaked emails, heated exchanges, and rumors of what might be revealed when the cameras start rolling. Supporters on both sides have drawn their lines in the sand, convinced that their champion is the only one telling the truth. But beneath the noise, the real challenge is clear. Can either of them break through the wall of spin, soundbites, and suspicion that defines modern politics? Or will this showdown become just another flashpoint in a country already divided by outrage and mistrust? As the clock ticks down, the stakes couldn't be higher. For Crockett, it's a chance to expose what she believes is a broken system. For Patel, it's a fight to defend his record and his reputation. And for everyone watching, it's a test of who, if anyone, can rise above the chaos and deliver something real. Tonight, the challenge isn't just to win an argument. It's to win the trust of a nation that's seen it all, and is still waiting for someone to break the mold. The story of Jasmine Crockett and Kash Patel didn't start tonight. Their paths have crossed before, sometimes in the shadows of committee rooms, sometimes in the blinding glare of the media spotlight. Each encounter has added fuel to a fire that's been smoldering for months. It began with a single exchange on the House floor. Crockett, armed with a stack of documents and her signature intensity, pressed Patel on a controversial decision he'd made during his time in government. The moment went viral. Clips of Crockett's relentless questioning racked up millions of views, while Patel's cool, calculated responses became instant memes. For some, it was a masterclass in accountability. For others, it was political theater at its finest. But that was just the beginning. In the weeks that followed, the two traded barbs on social media, each tweet and post dissected by pundits and fans alike. Crockett accused Patel of dodging the truth, of hiding behind bureaucracy and legal jargon. Patel fired back, calling Crockett reckless, accusing her of caring more about headlines than real solutions. Behind the scenes, the buildup was even more intense. Crockett's team worked late into the night, combing through records, preparing questions designed to put Patel on the spot. They knew that every detail mattered, that one slip could change the narrative in an instant. Meanwhile, Patel's advisors crafted a strategy built on experience and precision. They anticipated every angle, every possible attack, determined to keep their candidate one step ahead. The media, sensing a story that was bigger than any single issue, fanned the flames. Talk shows booked both Crockett and Patel for back-to-back interviews, each appearance more heated than the last. Headlines screamed of the showdown to watch, and every new development was treated like breaking news. As the date of the live event approached, expectations soared. Supporters of Crockett saw her as a truth-teller, someone finally willing to ask the hard questions and demand real answers. They flooded her social media with messages of encouragement, sharing clips of her past victories and speculating about what bombshells she might drop next. Patel's base, meanwhile, rallied around their champion. They saw him as a survivor, someone who'd weathered every storm and come out stronger. For them, this wasn't just about defending Patel, it was about defending a way of doing things that they believed was under attack. They organized watch parties, created hashtags, and promised to have his back no matter what. The anticipation reached a fever pitch when, just days before the showdown, a leaked email surfaced. The message, allegedly from a member of Patel's inner circle, hinted at a game-changing reveal planned for the live event. Instantly, speculation exploded. Was it a piece of evidence? A personal secret? Or just another ploy to keep viewers hooked? Crockett's team went into overdrive, preparing for every possibility. They rehearsed responses, ran through scenarios, and braced themselves for whatever surprise Patel might have in store. Patel, for his part, remained tight-lipped, refusing to confirm or deny the rumors. His only comment, "The truth always comes out in the end." As the night of the showdown finally arrived, the atmosphere was electric. The studio was packed, the audience buzzing with anticipation. Producers whispered last-minute instructions, camera operators checked their angles, and both Crockett and Patel took their places backstage, surrounded by their closest advisors. For a brief moment, time seemed to stand still. Crockett closed her eyes, took a deep breath, and reminded herself why she was here, not just to win, but to make a difference. Patel adjusted his tie, glanced at his notes, and steeled himself for the fight ahead. The lights dimmed, the music swelled, and the host's voice boomed across the studio. "Ladies and gentlemen, tonight you're about to witness a political showdown like no other." The world was watching. The stakes had never been higher. And as Crockett and Patel stepped onto the stage, both knew that everything they'd done up to this point had been leading to this moment. Just as the cameras were about to go live, a sudden buzz swept through the control room. A producer, pale and wide-eyed, rushed to the host with a phone in hand. On the screen was a screenshot. An anonymous social media account had just posted, "Watch for the red folder. Everything changes tonight." Instantly, whispers rippled through the studio audience. The phrase "red folder" started trending within minutes, and speculation exploded online. Was it a secret file? A last-minute piece of evidence? Or a setup meant to rattle one of the debaters? Backstage, Crockett's team exchanged nervous glances. Patel's advisors huddled, whispering urgently. Both contenders caught wind of the rumor, and for a split second, even their practiced confidence seemed to waver. No one knew what the red folder meant, or who would reveal it first. But one thing was certain: the stakes had just been raised, and the next hour would be anything but predictable. The lights blazed, the cameras rolled, and the host's voice echoed through the studio. Welcome to the most anticipated political showdown of the year, Jasmine Crockett versus Kash Patel, live and unfiltered. The audience was electric, a mix of die-hard supporters, skeptics, and those just hungry for drama. Social media feeds scrolled in real time on screens above the stage, every reaction, meme, and hot take flashing for all to see. The debate began with opening statements, both contenders sharp and composed. Crockett wasted no time, launching into a passionate critique of government secrecy and the need for real accountability. Patel countered with a calm, strategic defense, painting himself as a protector of order and experience in a world gone chaotic. But the tension was more than words. Every glance, every pause, every subtle smirk was magnified by the cameras. The audience could feel it. Something big was coming. Then, halfway through the debate, the moment everyone had been waiting for arrived. The host, following a cue from the control room, turned to Patel. "Mr. Patel, there's been a lot of talk tonight about transparency. Would you care to address the rumors about the so-called red folder?" A hush fell. Patel's eyes narrowed, but he didn't flinch. Instead, he reached under the desk and, to the shock of everyone, pulled out a bright red folder and placed it on the table. The audience gasped. Crockett leaned forward, her expression a mix of surprise and determination. Patel opened the folder, revealing a stack of documents. "Since everyone's so interested in secrets," he said, his voice steady, "let's put it all on the table." He slid the papers across to Crockett. "These are communications, memos, and internal reports, some with your name on them, Congresswoman. Care to explain?" The studio erupted. The host struggled to regain control as Crockett scanned the documents, her face unreadable. For a moment, it seemed like Patel had landed the knockout punch. But Crockett wasn't finished. She looked up, fire in her eyes. "Thank you, Mr. Patel, for finally bringing these into the light. Because what you didn't expect is that I've been waiting for this moment." She reached into her own folder, blue, not red, and pulled out her own set of documents. "These," she said, holding them up for the cameras, "are the full context, the parts you left out, the truth you didn't want anyone to see." The debate exploded into a rapid-fire exchange, each side presenting evidence, challenging claims, and refusing to back down. The host could barely keep up as the two went head-to-head, their voices rising, the audience on the edge of their seats. Online, the reaction was instant. Clips of the red and blue folders went viral. Hashtags like #Foldergate and #ShowdownTruth trended worldwide. Viewers picked apart every word, every page, every accusation. In the studio, the energy was electric. Supporters cheered, critics jeered, and even the neutral observers couldn't look away. It was more than a debate. It was a battle for the narrative, for the truth, for the future. As the final minutes ticked down, both Crockett and Patel made their closing statements. Crockett, voice unwavering, called for unity and real reform, urging viewers to demand more from their leaders. Patel, equally resolute, warned against chaos and the dangers of half-truths, insisting that experience and order must prevail. The host thanked both contenders, but everyone knew the real verdict would come from the viewers themselves. As the cameras faded to black, the world was left buzzing. The showdown had delivered everything it promised: fireworks, surprises, and a moment that would be replayed, debated, and remembered for years to come. As the studio lights dimmed and the credits rolled, the real battle spilled out into the world beyond the cameras. News outlets scrambled to be first with their hot takes, each headline more dramatic than the last. Red versus blue, the night politics changed. Crockett and Patel's showdown shocks the nation, and truth or tactics. America reacts. On social media, the fallout was instant and relentless. Clips of the red and blue folders flooded every feed, sparking heated debates and wild conspiracy theories. Supporters of Jasmine Crockett hailed her as a fearless truth-teller, sharing her closing words with hashtags like #CrockettCrushes and #TruthWins. Patel's fans, meanwhile, doubled down, praising his composure and strategy with #PatelPrevails and #OrderOverChaos. In the hours that followed, both camps went into overdrive. Crockett's team released a statement, calling the showdown a victory for transparency, and urging viewers to demand the full release of all documents. Patel's advisors countered with their own press conference, accusing Crockett of political theater, and insisting that the real story was still hidden in the details. Pundits filled the airwaves, replaying the most explosive moments and arguing over who had really come out on top. Some called it a win for Crockett, others for Patel, but most agreed on one thing. The showdown had exposed deep divisions and deep questions about the future of American politics. Behind the scenes, both Crockett and Patel felt the weight of what had just happened. Crockett, surrounded by her closest allies, allowed herself a rare smile, but she knew the fight for real change was just beginning. Patel, ever the strategist, reviewed the night's events with his team, already planning his next move. For the viewers, the aftermath was just as intense as the showdown itself. Group chats buzzed, reaction videos went viral, and everyone seemed to have an opinion on what the night really meant. One thing was clear: the Crockett versus Patel showdown wasn't just a moment, it was a turning point. And as the dust settled, the country was left asking, what comes next? When the dust finally settled, the Crockett versus Patel showdown had become more than just a viral moment. It was a defining chapter in both of their careers. Analysts replayed the highlights, dissecting every exchange, every document, and every second of tension that kept the nation on edge. For Jasmine Crockett, the night was a testament to her relentless drive and refusal to back down. She had faced Patel's challenge head-on, turning what could have been a trap into an opportunity to show her command of the facts and her passion for accountability. Her supporters saw her as the clear victor, a leader unafraid to confront power and demand answers, no matter how high the stakes. Kash Patel, meanwhile, walked away with his own kind of victory. He had forced a conversation, put his opponent on the defensive, and reminded his base why they trusted his experience and strategic mind. For many, Patel's performance was proof that he could weather any storm and keep his cool under the brightest lights. But the real impact went beyond either contender. The showdown exposed the deep divides and the deep hunger for truth running through American politics. It showed just how much people crave leaders who are willing to fight, to reveal, and to risk it all in front of a live audience. In the end, there was no single winner. The true outcome was a nation more awake, more engaged, and more determined to demand answers from those in power. The Crockett versus Patel showdown became a symbol, a reminder that, in the age of viral moments and live drama, the real stakes are always bigger than any one debate. And as both figures returned to their corners, one thing was certain: the conversation they started was far from over. Now it's your turn. What did you think of the Crockett versus Patel showdown? Did the red folder change your mind, or did the blue folder reveal the real story? Whose side were you on when the pressure was at its peak? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let your voice be heard. Was this the debate that finally broke through the noise, or just another chapter in the chaos of modern politics? We want to know what moment shocked you the most, and what you think comes next for both Crockett and Patel. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss another political face-off. And if you're hungry for more, check out our next video, where another unexpected rivalry is about to take center stage. Because in today's world, every voice matters. And tonight, the conversation is just getting started.